Presented by 警部。ドドンパチ。ドドンパチ。
最大往生。
Good day everyone, Briario Skerensky here. Time to take an accurate look at Cave's latest bullet hell, most probably their last X360 game.
発進。
DoDonPachi SaiDaiOujou consists of 4 different modes. Arcade HD,
市街地から侵入してください。
version 1.5, Novice,
脳型機と接触します。集中しましょう。
N360 mode.
すいません。警戒レベル最大に引き上げてください。警戒レベル最大。ここまで来れば多少の被弾ぐらい覚悟の上よ。この程度で落ちるもんですか。
All these modes share enemies, levels, and some mechanics. Arcade HD is the port of the original arcade game, and Novice is a drastically easier version of the former. Version 1.5 is a rebalance of Arcade HD that touches difficulty, ship movement, fire modes, and scoring mechanics. 360 mode is a rearrange mode, with just one ship type and mechanics of its own. All these modes have online leaderboards for 1 and 2 players, and training, essentially giving each of these modes the same depth of many shooters out there. Complementing the main 4 play modes, there are training missions, a shop selling a wealthy amount of wallpapers, voices from various game modes, and game aids to be used outside the score attack modes. Options allow to rotate and zoom the screen as expected.
全力でサポートさせていただきます。
It's also possible to set up extra windows that zoom in on screen details, like the ship and various gauges, excellent solution for those unable to rotate their screens. You might have noticed different wallpapers. As the stages between the 3 modes are very similar, I've chosen to indicate which mod is shown by changing wallpaper, based on the mode's own intro image.
ハイパーシステムレディ。
SaiDaiOujou's approach will be immediately familiar to Cave fans. In all modes except 360, there are 3 ships available, linked to an element doll. Each ship has 2 fire modes, auto and laser, that influences ship movement speed and fire spread. Then there is the dress system. Each element doll, and this includes Sai in 360 mode, has 3 dresses to choose from. Military, in full quotes, casual and swimsuit. The military outfit is the shoot type, which trades raw firepower for spread. The combo gauge feels faster and starts with 3 bombs. The casual dress is the laser type. Increased raw firepower but narrower reach and 2 bombs. The swimsuit is expert mode. Auto and laser are more powerful, 1 bomb, and the game is put in the second loop from the start. Finally, it's possible to select auto bomb on or off. Auto bombing depletes all remaining bombs, but saves the ship from death and affects the scoring system. The scoring system is essentially the same as DaiOujou, but with a more lenient chaining system. In short, killing an enemy will start a combo, or chain. Continuously chaining enemy kills will raise the combo counter, thus awarding more points. Chains are dropped by not killing enemies. The chain system is connected to a gauge on the upper part of the screen that will make enemies release items when full. These items in turn charge the hypermeter that is no longer a separate item as in DaiOujou. Hyper mode can be engaged when its meter is at least at level 1 and replaces the bomb. Firepower is increased, nearby projectiles are destroyed, and the rank counter increases, making enemy bullets faster but increasing the score. Bombing while in hyper mode cancels it and resets the rank counter. There are also B statues scattered across all levels, which influence score, hyper gauge, and the availability of the second loop. There is nothing much to say about Arcade HD, as it was the first incarnation of the game and mechanics do not stray from what described before. Novice mode works exactly like Arcade HD, but with less intense bullet patterns. It makes the game easier, and it's an excellent introduction to those who never played SaiDaiOujou or previous DoDonPachis before. In fact, it's also useful in getting used to a toned-down version of boss attack patterns, rather than stepping right into any other game mode. Keep in mind that while being easier, Novice mode is no pushover, and later levels can still offer a decent level of challenge. Version 1.5 is a tuned version of arcade mode. The biggest difference between the two is how shot and laser dresses affect the scoring system, as this mode is skewed toward the latter. Other changes include the duration of the hyper beam, based on the current stage, items generated by the hyper beam, how rank influences the amount of hyper gauge gained by collecting stars, and increased bonus for no misses, among many others.
前方から高エネルギー反応来ます。
図体ばかりでかくて
Of these three modes, I'm partial to version 1.5, although it essentially makes shoot dresses way inferior to laser types. As the chaining system has been refined, SaiDaiOujou is actually more fun than the previous installments, as there is far less emphasis on ship location, bullet cancel and hyper spamming. Dodging is more important, and this makes the game feel more fluid, without sacrificing the scoring system.
敵の内部から熱源反応を確認。注意してください。オッケー、グッドラック。私はあんたを絶対に許さない。待ってなさい。
360 mode, as the name implies, is exclusive to the home port and rearranges essentially everything. Gone is the possibility to choose between different ships, only Saya is available, with the usual 3 dresses, and a completely different bombing mechanic. Shoot types and hyper system mechanics remain the same, but there is only one life, and the bomb counter is gone, replaced by a green bar on the lower side of the screen. Said bar represents 10,000 points, and it decreases by 2,000 when the player's ship is hit, releasing a bomb at the same time, effectively replacing the auto-bombing feature of the arcade modes, though it can't be turned off. It's still possible to use bombs manually, but rather than bomb tokens, bomb availability is linked, again, to the green bar. Holding down the 2 fire buttons at the same time will create a super shot that will drastically increase hypermeter and hit counter, but will drain the same green bar. Once the green bar is below 2000 and the player's ship is hit, it's game over. To replenish this bar, it's necessary to enter hyper mode and collect the usual gold medals that turn green while hyper mode is active. As with other modes, bombing, either automatic or manual, cancels hyper mode. Bosses now have destructible parts that not only help in dealing with them, decreasing their firepower, but also in replenishing the hyper counter. Thanks to these variations, 360 mode is highly addictive, and it's relatively easy to clear if not playing for high scores. If the objective is to climb the long and hard ladder of online leaderboards, it's essentially like playing with one life, constantly depleting the green gauge with a super shot and then switching to hyper mode to replenish it. 360 mode also includes dialogues, apparently a must for all console shooters. Dialogues here do not interrupt the action, like in Caladrius or the PS2 port of Triggerheart Exelica, but overlay the action, like in Ginga Force. And just like Q's shooter, they are constant, at least during a level. Luckily bosses are spared from radio chatter, leaving channels open for important radio notifications, like the hyper system status. When 2 audio cues overlap each other, the story dialogue takes priority, and the constant back and forth between Saya and the operator can be quite annoying at times. Saya's voice is by Aya Hirano, her performance is quite good, as is Asami Shimoda as the operator, but it's a bit too much most of the times.
あんた今タヤの胸見たでしょ。絶対見た。変態。大型機との接触を確認。距離500です。どうせタヤの胸はペタンコですよ。
DoDonPachi SaiDaiOujou does not break any new ground, just given a new twist to element of the series, thus creating an incredibly addictive package. The less strict chaining system is far from being a drawback. It makes the game funnier to play. Enemy waves are crafted to make full use of auto and laser shots, and different dresses have to deal with different bullet patterns, while enemy placement remains the same. Scoring is concentrated on the second loop, to a rather high degree, and, strangely enough, defeating the final boss nets a huge bonus, alone enough to topple the default high score, a rather puzzling decision. Said default high score can be beaten pretty easily within the first two levels, but I know this has raised quite a few eyebrows among long-time fans. The entry level for beginners is quite high. Description of the various gauges is kept to a minimum and often aimed toward players already knowing the nuances of the system, focusing on changes from previous titles. Nevertheless, the game itself is highly addictive if you care to spend some time with it. It surely won't bring immediate satisfaction, but the constant improvement that dedicated players will be able to experience is worth the time spent. SaiDaiOujou's graphics take some time to get used to, with their incredibly bright colors, especially on mid and end level bosses. Every single bullet is clearly visible and in sharp contrast with enemies and stages' backgrounds, that show a good amount of detail. Unfortunately, this level of detail is kinda lost due to the amount of things on screen. Overall, the game looks a bit less detailed than Esp Galuda 2 or Mushihime Sama, but its presentation is less baroque, with an in-game interface easier to read. The cleaner look also sits well with the sci-fi setting of the game. 360 mode, if played with a horizontal screen, has an incredibly busy interface, which can be really distracting during the first plays. The extra windows for those unable to play in Tate mode do create some extra slowdowns, and I don't really think it's the best solution. Zoom levels tend to be too close to give players a good perspective without constantly shifting attention from the main screen to the detail windows. If played in Tate mode or with the screen in a vertical position, the visible portion can be enlarged by almost 50%, and though it completely obscures wallpapers and adds some pixelization, this makes the game much more enjoyable. Interface elements are shown in different parts of the screen, and every game-related event is backed up by visual and oral cues, something that many games tend to overlook.
ミッション完了。システム異常なし。マスター、苦戦するかと思ったけど、なかなかやるじゃん。
When the game launched, there were problems with online leaderboards and audio drops. Recently, Cave published a patch to correct these problems and some others, like decreasing the amounts of slowdowns and introducing the possibility to reset local leaderboards, though now online scores can be overwritten with lower records, and the leaderboards themselves have been reset time and again before and after the patch release. DoDonPachi SaiDaiOujou is difficult, but it's the rewarding kind of difficulty, and it's an incredibly complete package that won't stop to please anyone thanks to its variety of options. The game is region-free, so everyone can play it, though I'd suggest to get a good arcade stick, as precise movement is a must. I hope you have enjoyed this review and you stick around for more. Briere Oskarensky, over and out.
本体へのダメージを確認。もう少しです。目標完全に沈黙しました。 これより新たなミッションへ移行します。